Mastering the art of using tenses in letter writing, a comprehensive guide. Introduction: the importance of proper tense usage in letter writing. Tenses in letter writing, using correct tenses, significance of verb tenses, formal letter writing. Understanding the different tenses and their functions. Present tense, past tense, future tense, perfect tense, continuous tense, verb tenses in letters. First one, using present tense for general statements and facts. Second, utilizing past tense to recall events or discuss previous actions. Second, incorporating future tense to express intentions or make predictions. The fourth, showcasing perfect tense for describing completed action or states. The last, applying continuous tense to emphasize ongoing actions or situations. Tips for choosing the appropriate verb tense in different sections of a letter. Tense usage tips: selecting correct tenses in letters, matching tenses with subject matter. First one, greeting and introduction, which tense to use when introducing yourself or addressing the recipient. Second, main body, how to maintain consistency while discussing events or expressing ideas. The third, closing and conclusion, the appropriate choice of tense when wrapping up your letter. The last, mistakes to avoid when using verb tense in letters. Tense errors in letters, common mistakes with verb tenses. First one, avoiding shifts in verb tenses within a single sentence or paragraph. Second, being mindful of tense consistency throughout the letter. Last one, avoiding ambiguous or confusing tense usage. Conclusion: enhance your letter writing skills with correct tense usage.
Hello guys, I will explain about the purpose and impact of clear explanations and examples in present tense. There are several reasons why clear explanations are important in the present tense when writing formal letters. First, enhancing understanding and comprehension. Present tense clarity, explaining concepts clearly, ensuring comprehension, formal letter writing technique. Second, providing relevance and context. Relevant examples in present tense, contextualizing information, making connection with the reader's reality. And then, the power of examples in present tense to illustrate key points. Present tense examples for clarity, demonstrating concept effectively, engaging the reader's attention in a formal letter context. First, using real-life scenarios to support claims or arguments. Demonstrating real-life situations using present tense examples, strengthening arguments or claims with evidence. Second, providing step-by-step instructions or process. Writing step-by-step instructions using present tense language, guiding the reader accurately through process. Crafting an exceptional formal letter with clear explanations and present tense examples. Writing technique for clear explanation, incorporating relevant present tense examples, honing your formal letters writing skills. The conclusion is the impact of clear explanations and examples in present tense on effective communications in formal letter writing.
Understanding and using perfect tense in letter writing. Explanation and example. Introduction. The importance of perfect tense in letter writing. Perfect tense, letter writing, formal communication, and grammatical accuracy. What is perfect tense? Verb tenses, past perfect tense, present perfect tense, future perfect tense. Using perfect tense in letter writing, past perfect tense example. expressing complete action before another point in the past, emphasizing chronological order in a letter. Example: situation, referring a previous event or action, activity that recently have done. Sentence: I had already sent you the package before I received your email. Purpose: demonstrating an action that occurred before another past event. Using present perfect tense in letter writing. Present perfect tense example: discussing past action with present relevant or ongoing effect on the present situation. Example: situation, sharing recent experience or accomplishment. Sentence: I have just completed my certification or on copywriting. Purpose: highlight a recent achievement that has an impact on the current situation or conversation. Using future perfect tense in letter writing. Future perfect tense example: discussing complete action that will happen before a specific future point or event. Example: situation, talking about a future event that will be complete before another future event. Sentence: by the time you receive this letter, I will have already submitted my report. Purpose: expressing an action that will be complete in the future before a specific reference point. Conclusion: engaging clarity and precision with perfect tense in letter writing. Writing effectively using a verb tense, conveying accurate information in letter.
Hello everyone! In this video, I will explain to you about mastering the art of writing letters, explanation and example of using past tense, the importance of using past tense in letter writing. Writing a letters, past tense in writing, formal letter writing, proper use of past tense. Explanation of past tense in letter writing. Past tense definition. Verb tenses in writing. Simple past tense. Past perfect tenses. Example and guidelines for using past tense in letter writing. Past tenses example in letters. Using past tense verbs. Expressing event and action in the past. Appropriate use of verb forms. Number 1. Describing a previous event or experience. Narrating a personal experience using a past tense. Sharing a memories and an anecdote. Number 2. Discussing completed action. Talking about tasks or event that have already happened or been completed. Number 3. Referring to past correspondence. Citing previous letters or conversation as a reference point in the present letters. And number 4. Expressing regret or apology. Certainly apologize for something that occurred in the past through a letter writing. Tips for consistently maintaining past tenses throughout your letters. Writing tips for using correct verb tenses constantly. Proofreading for proper grammar use. Enhancing your letters writing skill with proper use of past tense.
How often have you found yourself confused about the correct tense to use while writing a letter? It's a common dilemma, isn't it? Whether it's a formal letter to your boss or an informal note to a friend, it's crucial to use the right tense. This isn't just about grammar rules, it's about clear, effective communication. Misusing tenses can lead to misunderstandings and confusion. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of tenses. We'll explore how to use them correctly in both formal and informal letters. This isn't a vague overview, but a practical, step-by-step guide that will help you master this essential writing skill. In the realm of education, understanding and correctly applying tenses is a fundamental building block. It's not just about passing exams, it's about expressing our thoughts, ideas, and messages clearly and effectively. So, are you ready? Stay tuned as you embark on a journey to master the use of tenses in your letters. Before we dive into the common mistakes, we need to understand what a tense is in the English language. So, what is a tense? In simple terms, a tense is a form of a verb that shows the time of an action or state. It's all about when something happens, whether it's in the past, the present, or the future. Now, there are three main types of tenses: past, present, and future. As the name suggests, past tense refers to actions or states that happened in the past. For example, I ate an apple. Present tense talks about what's happening right now, like, I am eating an apple. And future tense is all about what will happen. So you might say, I will eat an apple. But here's where it gets a bit tricky. Each of these main types of tenses also has four subtypes: simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. The simple tense just uses the base form of the verb. So for past, it's I ate. For present, it's I eat. And for future, it's I will eat. The continuous tense, on the other hand, indicates an ongoing action. In the past, it's I was eating. In the present, it's I am eating. And in the future, it's I will be eating. Next, we have the perfect tense, which shows a completed action, like I had eaten for past, I have eaten for present, and I will have eaten for future. Finally, the perfect continuous tense combines the concepts of the perfect and continuous tenses. So, we have I had been eating for past, I have been eating for present, and I will have been eating for future. Remember, mastering tenses is crucial for clear and accurate communication. It's not just about knowing the rules, but also about understanding how and when to use them. Now that we understand what tenses are, let's examine some common mistakes. Even the best of us can make simple mistakes in tense usage. So what are these common errors? Well, one of the most common mistakes is switching tenses in the middle of a sentence or paragraph. It's like changing lanes without signaling. It confuses everyone around you. For example, you might write, I was walking to the store and then I see a dog. Here, was walking is in the past tense, but see is in the present. It would be better to say, I was walking to the store and then I saw a dog. Another common mistake is using incorrect tense forms. This happens when we use the past tense instead of the past participle, or vice versa. It's like wearing a formal shirt to a beach party. It just doesn't fit. For instance, you might write, I have went to the concert last night, but the correct phrase should be, I went to the concert last night, or I have gone to concerts before. The third common mistake is using the wrong tense for the context. This is like using a spoon to cut a steak. It's just not the right tool for the job. For example, you might write, I will be there yesterday. That's a time-traveling trick we haven't mastered yet. The correct sentence would be, I was there yesterday. Lastly, there's the mistake of overcomplicating things. Sometimes we use more complex tenses when a simple one will do. It's like using a sledgehammer to crack a nut. For instance, you might write, I will have been reading the book by the time you arrive. But it's simpler and clearer to say, I will read the book before you arrive. So, those are some of the common mistakes we often make in tense usage. But don't worry, we all make them. The key is to recognize them, learn from them, and try not to repeat them. Recognizing these mistakes is the first step towards correcting them. Formal letters require a certain level of precision in language, so how do we ensure correct tense usage? Well, let's dive right in and start unraveling this mystery. The first thing to remember is the basic rule of thumb. Use the present tense for current situations, past tense for completed actions, and future tense for planned actions. Let's illustrate this with some examples. Say, you're writing a formal letter to a company to express your interest in a job opening. You'd write, I am writing to express my interest in the marketing executive position. Here, am writing is in the present continuous tense because it's happening right now. Now suppose you want to mention your previous job experience. You'd say, I managed a team of 5 people at my previous company. Notice, managed is in the past tense because it's a completed action. And how about future plans? If you're making a promise or talking about a future commitment in your letter, you'd use the future tense. For instance, I will bring my extensive experience and commitment to this role. Here, will bring is in the future tense, indicating a planned action. But remember, the tenses shouldn't be mixed unnecessarily in a single sentence or context. Clarity is key, and so is consistency. If you're talking about a series of events that took place in the past, stick to the past tense. If you're describing your current situation, stay in the present tense. Also, pay close attention to conditional sentences. These can be a bit tricky. If you're discussing hypothetical or unlikely situations, use the second or third conditional. For example, if I were selected for this role, I would implement effective marketing strategies. Here, were, and would implement are in the conditional mood, used for hypothetical situations. And finally, be cautious with modal verbs. These can change the meaning and tense of your sentence. For example, I could have led the marketing campaign suggests a missed opportunity in the past, while I could lead the marketing campaign suggests a potential future action. So, there you have it. A step-by-step guide to using tenses correctly in formal letters. Remember the present tense for current situations, past tense for completed actions, and future tense for planned actions. Keep your tenses consistent within your context and pay attention to conditional sentences and modal verbs. With these guidelines, you can write formal letters with confidence. Informal letters give us more freedom, but we still need to maintain correct tense usage. Let's dive into the wonderful world of informal letters. These letters, often written to friends, family, or close acquaintances, allow us to express ourselves more freely. However, this does not mean we can disregard the rules of tense usage. When it comes to informal letters, the same rules we've discussed in formal letters apply, using past tense for past events, present tense for current happenings, and future tense for future plans. However, informal letters give us a bit more flexibility in how we can use tenses to create a conversational tone. Let's illustrate this with a few examples. Example 1. I was so excited when I saw your message yesterday. Here, we've used the past tense to describe a past event. Easy, right? Example 2. I am planning a trip to the beach this weekend. In this sentence, we're using the present tense to describe a current state of affairs, even though it relates to a future event. Example 3. I will send you some photos from the trip. For future events or intentions, we turn to the future tense. When writing informally, you might find yourself wanting to use contractions like I'm instead of I am, or we'll instead of we will. That's perfectly fine. Contractions can make your writing sound more conversational, more like you're having a chat with your friend. However, remember to keep your tenses consistent within your sentences. If you're describing an event in the past, stick with the past tense. If you're sharing something happening now, use the present tense. And if you're talking about future plans, use the future tense. By using tenses correctly, you can make your writing clear and easy to understand. You can paint a vivid picture of the past, share your present experiences, and express your hopes for the future. By following these steps, you can make your informal letters engaging and grammatically correct. We've gone through a lot today. Let's quickly recap what we've learned. We delved into the intricacies of tenses, understanding their significance in English grammar. We highlighted common pitfalls in tense usage, and then moved on to their correct application in formal and informal letters. In formal letters, precision and consistency in tense usage is key, while in informal letters, flexibility is allowed, but without compromising clarity. Remember, practice makes perfect. Keep practicing, and soon correct tense usage in your letters will become second nature.